I wanted to make this video the day after I had this epic dream because it was so epic. And I know I hate using the word epic too. I think it's long past its prime. But I just had to do it now because the dream I had last night was so expansive, so detailed, so full of life. The scenery of it was very vivid. I remembered a whole chunk of it, which is not usual with me. A lot of times, even for the big dreams, when I wake up, I remember just small patches of it, an image here and there. But this one, I really remembered three distinct storylines, through lines of the experience. And again, it was so big. It was like a movie. I seem to have two types of dreams. I have these filmic dreams that are gigantic and huge and full of a whole cast of characters. A cast of millions, as they used to say. Or I have very specific small dreams that consist of maybe one or two key images, and that's about it. And there really isn't a stage for these images. It's just, you just see the images and the background, the foreground, the background, everything around the image is stark. It's not notable at all. So anyways, as this thing starts, now this was a very tricky dream because as it starts, I'm in my bed in my room. So that kind of tricked my mind into thinking that this was real life, that I wasn't in the dream space, that I was just in my room like I would be in real life. I look out my window through the blinds, and it's an overcast sky, gray clouds everywhere. I look, because there's a street that goes parallel to where my window is. A busy, not quite a highway, but it's kind of it's in between a highway and just a regular barren road. So I'm looking on this street, and it's raining, and I see a whole bunch of dogs. They're running all over the place, all over this street. Like 20 dogs. There's dachshunds, there's those big Great Danes, and there's little dogs too, those little hot dogs. All variety of dogs, Labradors, golden and black. And they're running everywhere, and the emotion I keep feeling in my head is I'm just so scared for these dogs that I don't want any of them to get run over. I'm a avid animal lover. I love my cat. I love all animals. I would be a vet if I could. So hardcore animal lover here. I'm terrified because I feel I can't help these animals. I'm somehow trapped in the room. I can only watch, and I just don't want any of these poor creatures to get run over. But these dogs, they're going back and forth, barking and playing and running around. Not necessarily scared of anything, but they're just really active all over the street. And I'm just like, please don't get run over. Just get off the road. Get off the road. Finally, a bus comes. Not a Greyhound bus. That would have been, so meta. That would have killed me. But it wasn't a Greyhound bus, but it was a bus. Your regular standard city bus. The front doors of the city bus open. And all the dogs, in a straight orderly line, they all get in a line, and they all just go into the bus. They all use their four little paws, and they just each gets into the bus one at a time. And that's the first act of the dream. Second act, we transition to, I'm in a kind of dark, it's like a basketball court of a high school. You know how when they use the basketball court for like the prom or something? So it's one of those areas that I'm in. No lights, no overhead lights, it's all dark. And there's a screen in this room. and there's a table. There's one of those long tables, they use for special occasions, like the prom or whatever, or a wedding or something, a wedding reception. And it's just me, and I'm sitting on this long table, and I'm eating a bowl of cereal. And I look up on the screen, and I wouldn't say it's exactly Fox News, but it's that kind of show, like a debate show where they have two screens. The host is here, and then the guest is over here, and they're talking about whatever. And so it's some sort of political show, politically charged show, like Crossfire from CNN or something like that. Although I get more that it's like a Fox News type thing, more than CNN. And there's the host, and he's this kind of fattish guy, kind of a fat guy. And he has small spectacles on, and he's wearing a white t-shirt. And on the other side, the guest is a guy who I don't know. I mean, he has dark skin. He's kind of looks like Greek olive skin, slick back black hair. And I don't remember exactly what they're talking about, but they're talking about some very serious political dilemma in the world. Some war, some policy that the guest does not agree with, and the host obviously does agree with. So they're talking, and they just keep talking about this. I don't really understand what they're saying. But at the end of it, and see, here's the thing with dreams that's kind of quirky. A lot of times you don't remember the actual words of a conversation that two people are having in a dream. But one thing you remember distinctly is the feeling of the conversation. That's something that sticks with you more than the actual conversation, the body of the words, or the words themselves. So again, throughout this thing, I just get the feeling at the end. Well, what happens is the host, with the bespectacled host in the white t-shirt, he all of a sudden breaks the tension in the room by making fun of the guest by using his catchphrase. Now, again, this is the weird thing. I don't know what the catchphrase is. I don't remember what the words are, but I do remember it was the catchphrase. And it's like, when you hear it, oh, it's the guest's catchphrase. Even though you don't know what that catchphrase is, it's just understood. Your body understands that it's the catchphrase. It's like, if this catchphrase was said on the air, everybody in the world would know, oh, this is the catchphrase. This is what identifies the guest. So it's the catchphrase, even though I don't know what the words were. So he says the catchphrase, and he kind of does it in a joking manner. The host, he sticks out his tongue and just kind of makes fun of the guest. And the guest takes it in stride, and he goes, okay. He's kind of like, yeah, that's my catchphrase. And the conversation ends on a kind of funny, happy note. So that ends the second act. Now for the third act, we remain in the room. I'm still in the room, but the screen is off. I'm not watching it anymore. And in comes a very beautiful woman in a pink dress. At first I can't see her face. And remember, I'm eating cereal. She comes in with her bowl of cereal and sits opposite to me on the table. And she proceeds to eat the cereal. And again, I'm not even sure we talked or anything, but the feeling I had was I was very uncomfortable, and I wanted to just get away from this person. I wasn't sure who this person was. The more I look at her face, again, she does seem like a relative, perhaps a close relative of mine, an immediate family member, perhaps. But it's hard to see who exactly it is. But I feel like I'm related to her. Maybe a female cousin or something. And I just have this feeling of not necessarily that she's, it's nothing bad. It's just, I'm feeling my own uncomfortableness. And the thing is, it's not necessarily about her. It's more about me, that I just don't like being around people, I am kind of more of a loner type. I just, in general, I don't like being out in public in social areas where there's a lot of people. I'd rather just be alone. So it's just the uncomfortableness of being around people in general, I guess I'm feeling. And suddenly the woman, so she's, like even before she has a chance, I feel like she really wants to start a deep conversation with me. Perhaps about the fact that we both really love our cereals. She really wants to relate to me in that way. But I won't let her because I'm squeamish. So I quickly get up out of the table, from the table to leave. I look back and the woman has, it seems like there's some sort of lizard thing going on. Like it's not quite Medusa with the snakes. I get for a minute the image of some sort of lizard, like a lizard head or lizard skin or something coming out of her face, or maybe her body is lizardy. And so, and that's how it ends. That's how the three parts end. So again, with these dreams, it's about these feelings I'm having more than remembering even the images or even the words. I talked for a while there. That deserves a smoothie.